So yeah, for me, I mean, I just saw the speech. I didn't have the chance to read the whole draft yet. It's really fresh news, but from what I see, it's just about cosmetic change, and I doubt very much that the pro-democracy protesters will ever agree with that.
This video comes as a response to the Benchemsi's interview in Al Jazeera English recently. Basically, Benchemsi's talking point and Moulay Hicham in some extent, because the two gentlemen work together and share the same ideas. They are both the backbone of the February 20th movement. Just to mention, we came from different background, and both Moulay Hicham and we have different life stories. It is normal that we are different. We came from different angle, and we may reach different conclusions. I grew up in a small town in Morocco. My family is a middle class. My dad is a farmer, and we had to struggle all our life to put the food in the table. On the other hand, Moulay Hicham was a part of the royal family, and he did not have to think about the cost of living, neither to worry about the quality of education in Morocco. However, regardless of who you are, where you live, how much you make, and even where you get your education, you are entitled to your opinion. I support firmly the right to speak. I would go far and say I was against closing down the Benchemsi's magazine, although it was not the kind of news I would look for, or the kind of magazines I would read. Going back to the constitution issue in Morocco, my position is that the constitution is not perfect. However, we need to start somewhere. I look at the glass half full. Benchemsi and Moulay Hicham look at the glass half empty. In addition, what is presented is a good beginning for New Morocco. We know there will be turns, ups and downs, but it is normal for the size and the magnitude of the change that we are going through. The hard part is not so much to predict the future, is how to work to change it. The people who call for the boycott are not in touch with reality. Mr. Benchemsi, in his interview in Al Jazeera English, and with his talking point that are pre-prepared to make his point where he stands in the new reform, delivered. Benchemsi's goal is to deliver the message to the movement, the February 20 movement, and affirm his followers that he's still with them. My issue with this talking point delivered by Mr. Shamsi is to say no. Just no. It is the easy position to be, is not offering any answers and just reject all what is proposed. And he explained his position by saying that the new constitution did not come with any new thing, and it's all stuff, which I think is not true. For me as a Amazigh, what this statement was misleading, and I understand, because me and Mr. Benchemsi became from a different background, and for him the identity issue is not a proper priority in his agenda. The fact that Tamazight language became a national language beside Arabic and other languages is a big step ahead to build new Morocco, where the natural rights of individuals will be respected. Acknowledging the right of all cultures to coexist is a big step ahead in the right direction for the building democracy. Mr. Benchemsi, for that matter Moulay Hicham, did not see the positive effect of such decision. Could be considered some kind of misunderstanding of the landscape of the structure, or the combination of the culture and the ethnicity of Moroccan society. The message to all Moroccans: if you look at the path where Mr. Benchemsi and Moulay Hicham are going, are heading, and you like it, you can sit back and keep doing exactly what you are doing and enjoy the ride. But what if you see, as I do, that their opinion is out of the mainstream, and you don't like it? The only solution is to change your destination. You make your own decision, which means you have to jump in a whole new set of track. But how we do that, right? This is why you have to take the matters in your hand. Morocco belongs to you, and there are two ways to change. I'm talking about the change. There are two ways to change direction to create a better and full, richer life in Morocco. There are incremental change and radical change. It is that simple. What Moulay Hicham and Benchemsi are asking is to change our way of life, our values, and our culture. What I stand for is incremental change. What that means is to make small and consistent progress toward the desired goal. Incremental change is where most of us look for answers because it's safe and easy. We have to learn from others' experience. Incremental change is easy because it doesn't require you to change quickly, dramatically your behaviors and your culture. It is also feels good because you can tell you can see the progress. You can tell yourself that you are trying. On the other hand, radical change, it takes significant effort on your part. But if you are willing, if you're willing to do this radical change and invest a lot of efforts and produce some result, but the problem is that the risk is very high. Most people won't pull the trigger on radical change, but that's the honest, unless they hit the bottom. If I see that Morocco is hitting the bottom, there are no other alternative, and whatever it comes is better than what we have, then we can go radical change. I disagree. I believe Morocco is making some progress, and most of people will pursue slow and steady alternative until they reach the point where they feel like they see some result. The right question is not. There are some legitimate questions to ask. There are some places, there are some areas where Morocco needs some radical change. The right question is where. What the areas where you need to see radical result, or where you can afford, or where you cannot afford a slow and steady approach. We have all got an area that plagues us where we feel like we are not making any progress. We agree that's the individual right, the freedom of speech, freedom of religion, respect of minority, social justice, economic justice. My question out to Moulay Hicham is what you have done to help bring the change. What are the causes that you championed in the past? What project did you support? I think your comfortable zone is playing the role of intellectual elite and show up in the media to speak. I'm asking you, sir, to roll your sleeve and come down, help this country. What is your area of expertise? If you absolutely positively need to see massive improvement in short time, what do you have to do to turn your world around? I'm asking you to roll your sleeve and come down, help this country to change, make the change you have been avoiding to make. Use your intellectual capacity to help change the mind of people and rotten behavior in our culture. The culture change is difficult and time-consuming because the culture is rooted in the collective history of our country, and because so much of it is below the surface and of awareness. In general, the process of culture change must include a lot of steps. It's a long process. We need you to come and uncover the real value and beliefs of our society. Show some respect and try to talk with others to understand their point of view. Discuss the difference between core values and beliefs of different subcultures within the nation. Help establish new behavior norm that clearly demonstrates desired value. The first step for change, sir, is not to spend your valuable time in the front of the camera and behind keyboard. Such action will not create jobs nor increase the Moroccans' confidence in the future, and the result will be more disappointment. The people who make change happen are those who roll their sleeve and get to work. It is very crucial to recognize that there is too much at stake. I know it is hard work, but there is no free lunch, sir. And the culture change is an ongoing process. We need leaders with big ideas, not people who like just to speak and be in the spotlight.
They will most probably boycott it, and for one reason which doesn't even have to do with the content of the referendum.